Not only does AI serve as a tool to help find the needle in the haystack in terms of text data, but it can be leveraged in predictive analytics for the legal industry, which may change the way that the industry operates as a whole.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. As always, I'm your host, Smike, and today we are joined by John Newton of Ontro.ai, a very cool up-and-coming AI platform for lawyers, for law firms. Very excited for him to showcase that aspect, but we're also going to talk a lot just about AI. A lot of lawyers, and John, I'm sure you agree with me, a lot of lawyers are still skittish about AI. I mean, we've seen in the news, like, some lawyers using AI improperly and citing cases that were wrong and this and that. So there's definitely some skepticism still in the legal industry about AI. But John, welcome to the podcast. Excited to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with your introduction, kind of where you came from, how'd you get here, what's been your motivation to get to this point?
If I had to classify the work that I do, I would say that I'm a technologist, where I really specialize in leveraging software to overcome inefficiencies that exist in business processes. That's my daily work that I'm involved in: development, data analytics, digital marketing. In the past 10 years or so, I've done this type of work for varying sizes of businesses, ranging from billion-dollar brands to solo firms and sole proprietorships. But over the last 5 years, I've had a strong focus on leveraging automation and artificial intelligence for small to medium-sized businesses. In terms of why I'm driven to do this type of work, I guess the short answer to that is I want to add value. I think that the modern world that we operate in is just an abstraction of the challenges that we would face if we were all stranded on a desert island somewhere. We're seeking resources, we're looking for safety and security, we're trying to find communities, and we're looking for a sense of purpose. So I guess I don't want to be or feel like I'm the person that, while everyone else is out gathering wood or foraging for food, I'm kicked back under a palm tree sipping on a coconut.
Yeah, right. So the world keeps turning, and you want to make sure that you're not the one that's kind of lagging behind, and
Right.
hopefully you don't take anybody behind with you and that sort of thing. So that's very admirable, because especially nowadays, we have such a quick advancement in technology, and we've had for the past hundreds of years, and especially now with AI. I mean, AI, I feel like, just blew open the doors for all realms of technology, right? I mean, AI is put almost into everything nowadays that you see, all the new technology. So for any lawyers out there, I mean, this is not necessarily a question for me, because I'm very much pro AI, but for any lawyers listening to this, or maybe they know somebody who's also in the legal industry who's skittish of AI still, why should they be paying attention to it? I mean, other than the fact that it's in their faces already, whether they like it or not, why should they be paying, I guess, a little bit more attention to it?
Well, I'd say that in the very near future, adopting AI will be more of a necessity than a choice. I suspect that it will be critical for survival in the legal industry. I'm not convinced that AI will replace lawyers, but I am confident that lawyers that adopt artificial intelligence will outperform lawyers that don't.
Yeah, we say that all the time as well. Yes.
From that point, capitalism kind of takes over. It's just, I'm not sure that it's feasible for traditional lawyers to compete against AI-empowered lawyers who are able to, in a more efficient manner, extract salient facts or analyze large repositories of legal documents, or find precedent cases faster and pressure test those precedent cases in legal arguments. And when leveraging artificial intelligence to be able to do all of that in a more efficient and costly, or a less costly and time efficient manner, I'm just not sure that it leaves much room for late adopters to kind of linger and still compete.
Do you think that, so you mentioned there that it's basically like it's a time saver, right? I mean, one of the things that we hear day in and day out from lawyers is, "Oh, I just don't have enough time to do X, Y, and Z," right? They've got their minds and work so wrapped into everything that they're doing. So, would you say that AI will make lawyers and law firms better because it'll save them time so that they can get a lot more done? Or do you think it will allow them to basically just be the better lawyer because they have quicker access using AI to certain parts of their job, or maybe they're able to reference cases quicker? Or what do you think? Or maybe it's both.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, I think it's both. It's not just the speed that you're able to conduct legal workflows, but the depth of analysis that you're able to
Mm,
apply to those legal workflows, extracting facts from case files that are sometimes hundreds of thousands of words. The amount of resources and manpower required to do that at a deep analysis level, without using artificial intelligence, is orders of magnitude more than what it is using artificial intelligence. So I think it's not only will provide lawyers with a more intricate understanding of case files, and do so in a more efficient manner, but I think that the combination of those things will lead to better outcomes for the clients that they serve.
yeah, absolutely. So we say a lot that, AI, it's not perfect right now. It's definitely, it's got its flaws. Like, for example, when, ChatGPT, if you're asking, hey, write this paragraph for me, it tends to use language that's very outlandish. It's like,
They will say delve
yes.
4 times in every paragraph. I'm aware.
I have to tell it, if I'm using ChatGPT to help me out with something like a caption, I have to tell it so many times, don't use the word unlock. Like, it just
Oh
uses
yeah. Yeah.
the word unlock. I'm not sure why, but it's so attached to
Unlock
that
as you
word.
delve into the, yeah.
Yeah. So, would you say that the state of AI right now is just more a better starting point? Like, I mean, we would say that if we're using AI, like if I'm using AI to create captions or paragraphs or something like that, I will start with AI and work off of it. I won't copy and paste it. Would you agree with that for right now, at least?
Well, though, there's kind of two questions bundled into that one question.
Sure.
I don't think that that is the state of AI right now. I think that the advancements that have taken place kind of behind the scenes are far beyond the utility that is currently being applied.
Mm,
However, at the base level of using ChatGPT and these large language model systems that are open to the public directly, without fine tuning and without vector storage and without sequential chains and multiple variables within databases, I would say that that is a good way to mitigate risk. However, from my side of things, because I'm in the development work of it daily, I will tell you from my own personal experience that the utility of artificial intelligence is far beyond what you just outlined, because
mm,
of the capacity to narrow the working range of various artificial intelligence agents. So the first question is, yes, I would recommend being conscientious about how AI is being leveraged for copy online and marketing, or for SEO, or for social media content. But I would reiterate that what's the capacity of what artificial intelligence is capable of doing is uh, far beyond what is what the processes that it's currently being used in.
So what you're saying is basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, what you're saying is that what we see as a public right now, the tools that are available to us right now, are very much not close to the state that AI is actually in, because behind the scenes, it's a lot more advanced already.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So let's speak to that a little bit. Like, what, from your vantage point, working with AI every single day, what do you see AI doing, or being able to kind of figure out that we as the public are not able to recognize right now?
One example of this is in this is already on the Ontro roadmap, but in
Mm,
the not so distant future, I can I've already mentally architected and could envision workflows where not only does AI serve as a tool to help find the needle in the haystack in terms of text data, but it can be leveraged in predictive analytics for the legal industry, which may change the way that the industry operates as a whole. So, as an example, I've worked on uh, test to see how these systems, and it's called a sequential chain, but to see how these systems can stack and integrate with one another to pass data along what's called a sequential chain. It's just a series of artificial intelligence agents that communicate with one another. So instead of just one chat GBT, it's you can think of it as a group of specialized chat GPT that all communicate back and forth with one another to solve a preordained problem. So I've begun to develop a system that will allow this group of AI agents, along with function calling, to uh, take case data and use that case data, cross-reference it against precedent case data and the legal precedents that correspond with that case data, and pull all of the information from the case file, present this information to a group of AI agents that are preceded with jurors based on the demographic of the region that the case would be tried under, and spinning up a judge AI agent that is pre-trained on the legal style, the personality, and the case history of that judge, and then having a mock simulation take place among this group of AI agents to estimate the likelihood of a legal framing being successful within the framework of the precedents and the case that the jurors and the AI judge is analyzing. Where it becomes more interesting is after that pipeline is done analyzing the results of these simulations, is forecasting the litigation outcomes, and perhaps doing so with a level of accuracy that prior to this point in history would have been unimaginable. Uh, that gets very interesting because I think those processes can uh, reshape the entire industry and how lawyers advise their clients, and maybe even in the long run, how decisions are made for settlements and case filings.
It sounds like that. I mean, that's so, like, very interesting, because it sounds like to me, and again, this is just me on the outside looking in. Obviously, you're the one that's in AI every single day, working with it. But for me looking in, it sounds like it's the advancement there is, if I'm on, I keep using ChatGPT just only because it's like, everyone who's listening probably have heard of it so far. But if I'm using ChatGPT, it's for me, it feels more like a one-on-one conversation going on, where it sounds like what you're describing is more of a you talking to a team of AI, and they each have their own role to play, and they kind of work, like they intermingle and kind of work off of each other.
Yeah, one caveat to that is, and this is where it becomes, this is where it peeks into the architecture of these systems become
Hmm.
insightful, is it still will feel like you're talking to one AI, but
Mhm.
underneath the manager AI that you're speaking with are a team of AIs, a
Mm.
group of AIs that are being managed and overseen by this manager AI. And the manager AI collects the information and then delivers the end result of that process. So you're not the lawyer wouldn't be tasked with being the manager of the AI either. It would be just managing the manager.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's even cooler. So let's talk about Antro because obviously, this is something that's very exciting and up and coming. Tell the audience about Antro, like what to expect from it.
Well, kind of piggybacking off of what we just spoke about, right now it's a segmented version of what we just outlined the future may hold. It's a suite of AI-powered software tools specifically to serve lawyers. Right now there are 18 tools with
Mhm.
another half a dozen or so coming that perform these tasks. So there's summarization, there's entity and fact extraction, there's deposition outlines and precedent case retrieval, state and federal law lookups, contract review, adversarial dialogue. Uh, you can think of those as what we just spoke about, the AI agents within under the umbrella of the group. And that's why I'm so confident that's where the industry is heading, because I've personally been involved with building the infrastructure required to get to that point. The next logical step is to have an AI manager oversee automated processes among these agents. I think what makes Antro special in terms of its presence in the legal sector is we came from AI and got into legal. We didn't try to retrofit existing legal software to include AI.
Mm.
So we were in the AI space and then ventured into legal to solve real world problems that existed in the day-to-day workflow of lawyers, which is a distinction that I think has merit because it emphasizes the fact that we didn't add AI as a mechanism by which to upsell or monetize pre-existing software. We
Yes.
built from the ground up with the intent to add value to the workflow of lawyers. And as a testament to that, we've introduced a very competitive and perhaps even disruptive pricing model because, well, I'll tell you a story.
Yeah,
I was
please do.
speaking with we have a beta group with uh, 300 plus lawyers applied, 100 of them or so are in the beta group. And I was speaking with a lawyer that was from Chicago, and I was going over the tools and the new features that we had just deployed so that she could aid us in the process of ensuring that they functioned at a capacity that would be valuable to the work she was doing. She was in um, uh, personal injury. She was
Mhm.
a personal injury lawyer. And in the middle of this process, uh, in the beginning, she was very enthusiastic, but towards the middle, I felt as though her enthusiasm kind of died down a bit. And I thought it was something within the dashboard, maybe a tool that was underserving her needs. And I asked her about it, and I said, "Was there something you saw that make doesn't seem like it would be a good fit for what you're doing?" And uh, uh, she confessed kind of in that moment that the comprehensiveness of the dashboard made her feel an impending sense of doom, that Antro was going to be absorbed into the duopoly of companies that currently allege to serve these law firms. And I think that sentiment is likely uh, prevalent within the small to medium-sized lawyer market, where they're being price gouged and hounded and harassed to upgrade uh, to services that include AI as a service within pre-existing software as a service, but that AI is not fully fledged because it was spun off from existing systems and not built from the ground up.
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen those platforms out there, and I've tried out some of their AI aspects. And yes, like you said, they're very much just like, it's as if they took the code from somebody else's AI and just stuck it in there, and they were like, "Oh, this is ours now." But that's very cool that you guys basically, like you said, you from the ground up, it was all about AI. It wasn't anything that you were adding on to. It was just AI was the purpose for your platform. So, what do you see this platform really doing, like main benefits? Obviously, I'm sure it goes without saying this is going to help lawyers save a lot of time, time. But what do you see? How do you see Antro really evolving into the AI space for lawyers?
Well, in addition to the saving time and increasing efficiency, I believe that it can impact the quality of the legal services provided.
Mm,
Lawyers are tasked with sometimes impossible challenges of managing the billing that is being passed through to the client with a
mhm,
reasonable level of inspection of the case files. It's it's challenging. That balance is challenging. If you can read over the documents and read over the documents, but there may be one salient fact that exists within those legal documents that can change the outcome of the case. And I suspect that the impact that Ontro can have within the legal sphere is allowing lawyers to, in an efficient manner, provide the highest level of legal service possible by not just leveraging artificial intelligence and large language models to craft legal jargon, but actually inspect the nuance of what legal framings are available from the base of the case files, seeing where maybe uh, a police officer didn't have the right to search a vehicle, and maybe that's missed because it's buried down in a police report somewhere, or finding the way that a doctor interacted with an individual that was hurt and is now involved in a personal injury case. These nuances and these little pieces of information can be challenging to find for a human, but for artificial intelligence that's able to process information and text data at many orders of magnitude higher than a human is able to do it. It's very simple. It's um, like the invention of the calculator for mathematics, or the switch from old dusty legal case law books to databases with precedent cases in them. The shift that's taking place is probably equal to those, if not greater, and I suspect it can impact uh, the quality of client service that's provided.
So it sounds to me that for the solo and small law firm owners out there that feel like that they can't compete, what Antro is going to do is really going to help them realize that they can, and also kind of catapult them into that competition.
Yeah, exactly. It's the work that's able to be conducted with significantly less resources while maintaining the oversight of a legal professional cannot be understated. I'm not a lawyer, but I've worked within the system to analyze case files and legal framing and precedents and depositions, and have presented my ad hoc attempt at impersonating a lawyer to individuals that are in our beta group, and they have verified that my line of thinking on certain cases has been correct, and I didn't study law. So this in the hands of a lawyer is extremely powerful.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the future. Let's touch real quick. I know we talked about the future of AI really because we mentioned how what we see as the general public isn't really where AI is at. AI is much farther along. This is kind of a corny question, but do you see robots ruling the world at any point?
I would say don't I don't I don't see them ruling the world. However, I say please and thank you to AI a lot. So maybe on a on a subconscious level, I don't know. I would say consciously, I do not see that happening. However, I do say please and thank you to the AI I interact with quite a bit.
So anyone listening out there, make sure that you guys use your manners when you're talking to AI, just on the safe
Just in
side.
case,
Yeah,
precautionary measure.
absolutely. John, any final comments, any final thoughts that we didn't touch on that you'd like to share with the audience?
I would just say that, even though it may be challenging to hear because of the hype you alluded to earlier in regards to AI in the legal space, that I do believe we're at a pivotal moment in the legal industry, and that the impact of artificial intelligence isn't something that lies in the distant future. It's happening now. I'm working on it daily, and the pace is only accelerating. So I strongly believe that for people that are willing to embrace these advancements, that AI presents a unique opportunity where in this window of time they can gain a competitive edge prior to it becoming omnipresent. I would also say that it's not up to technologists like me to decide the direction that these tools go. It's not up to technologists like me to uphold the ethical standards of the profession while leveraging artificial intelligence. It's up to lawyers. So I think it would be wise for any lawyers listening and anyone who's interested in the industry that's listening to be very intentional about being involved in the conversation. I would just encourage lawyers and the listeners to think very boldly and strategically about how AI can be leveraged in their business, because like we alluded to earlier, where it's at is much beyond where what's being seen in most circumstances. If lawyers are using ChatGPT, they will see a massive shift in where they believe artificial intelligence is currently at, simply by signing up and logging into the Ontro AI dashboard, because there's a order of magnitude separation just there. The stuff we have in the pipeline is far beyond that. So
Now, can lawyers, can they sign into and sign up for Ontro and use it right now, or is it we're still waiting for the actual launch of it?
no, it's launched. It's ready to go. We've got everything set up. We've got lawyers using it actively now. I wouldn't say that, I'm not sure it will ever be done because of the stuff we just alluded to. But
Sure.
what I was trying to emphasize is that the direction that the platform goes, we're not a large, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. We're developers who started in AI and jumped into the legal space to see where we can add value. So for Ontro specifically, the direction that AI goes is correlated strongly with where lawyers ask us to take it.
Awesome. So where can our listeners get in touch, either with you or somebody else from Ontro, to if they have any questions or get started with Ontro?
My email address is john@ontro.ai. They can also go to ontro.ai and see all of the information there. We have
Awesome.
a lot of tools, and we're working diligently to ensure that the user interface is simple. We realize there's trepidation about adopting new technologies because of the burden of having to learn new software, but we've tried our best to ensure that it is seamless and simple to use.
Awesome. Well, there you heard it, folks. John, appreciate you being on the podcast today.
It's my pleasure.
Awesome. Anyone listening out there, Appreciate you guys listening. Please feel free to leave a review. We'd love to hear it, and have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.
Thanks so much.